Welcome to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the next half hour, Montgomery County Highway Services crews are busy filling some big potholes on local roads after an extremely harsh winter. And Montgomery County Police are preparing to unveil a pilot program for body-worn cameras this summer. But first, the Montgomery County Council met with Congressman Chris Van Hollen this week to discuss local and national issues. The meeting began with an overview of the budget process, which begins next week.
The week after that, we'll be on the floor of the House and Senate, I believe, for full debate. And then by April 15th, the House and the Senate are supposed to come together with their final version.
The second topic discussed at this meeting was the congressman's role in helping bring home Montgomery County resident Alan Gross from Cuba.
It was a really emotional moment to be able to fly down to Cuba with Alan's wife, Judy, pick him up and bring him home.
The congressman also talked about new U.S. policy and Cuba.
Theory behind the embargo was that it would drive the Castro brothers from power. 8 American presidents later, Castro brothers are still there.
Councilmember Craig Rice also asked the congressman about the importance of Selma this year.
I've gone to Selma 3 times and walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with John Lewis, who of course led the march. And I made sure that each time I took one of my 3 kids, and it was an incredible, moving, emotional, and learning experience for all of them.
The future of Social Security was something Councilmember Sidney Katz wanted to know about.
The current situation with respect to Social Security is that there is enough in the trust fund to keep Social Security solvent through the year about 2033. After that, if Congress does nothing, then Social Security would pay 75 cents on the dollar. So Congress has got to take some action.
After the meeting, Congressman Van Hollen said it's important for him to stay in touch with local leaders.
Well, I meet regularly with the council to discuss both local issues but also national issues that have an impact on local issues. And so, especially given the number of federal facilities in the state of Maryland, there's a lot of interaction between what happens in the county councils and what happens at the federal level.
Senator Barbara Mikulski is the longest-serving woman in Congress, and news of her pending retirement has stunned many. On the day of her big announcement, Council President George Leventhal shared his thoughts with reporters at his weekly briefing.
She is one of the most important Marylanders in the state's history. Her election to the House in 1976 and her election to the Senate in 1986 sent a groundbreaking message that anyone can participate in politics. You don't have to be 6'5" and have salt and pepper hair and be a rich male. That for a 4'11", feisty daughter of a Highlandtown baker to take her seat in the Senate, it's hard to remember now because she's been there so long, sent an enormous message about the inclusiveness and opportunity of American politics, and certainly in Maryland. She's a role model for me. To say that I love her is the word isn't strong enough. I mean, I learned so much working for her, and she's been a role model for a generation of Maryland politicians.
Montgomery County Council member Roger Berliner recently brought local officials and residents together in hopes of finding solutions for the county's infrastructure issues. And as Susan Kennedy reports, though conversation on this topic is not unusual, there are no quick fixes. Susan?
That's right. The ability to provide the necessary infrastructure to accommodate the growth here in the county has been a question that's been asked here over and over again for years. And at this gathering of officials and residents, it's hoped to gain a better understanding of where we're headed tomorrow. More than 200 residents showed up at Bethesda Chevy Chase High School on a recent Saturday to get their questions answered and to start talking about possible solutions to this age-old question.
An issue that arouses great passion and debate.
The forum was organized by Councilmember Roger Berliner, who said keeping pace with our growth is the biggest issue in the county.
I don't think we're going to find any magic bullets today, but we may find a few aha moments. Places where we say to ourselves, that's an idea, let's advance that.
The most important question.
The question we have to ask ourselves is, why are we not keeping them? And I hope that we would delve further into that question to truly examine that portion of it.
The forum examined all aspects of infrastructure affected by growth: transportation, roads, parks, and schools, which garnered the most attention at the event.
We will devote every dollar that we can to school construction at the county level. We are working very closely with our hardworking senators and delegates in Annapolis, and we're right in the midst of that conversation right now to determine how much money they'll be able to bring home.
Bill and Mary Fryer attended the event on Saturday. They raised their children in Bethesda.
So it's not a horrible feeling that I come here and let's fix this. It's a where are we headed and can we help it head better?
The afternoon session consisted of breakout groups tasked with a list of questions to discuss.
Having a green space as both active and passive spaces.
We were working on the second question, which talks about overutilization, overcapacity at schools.
Greg Zepp came to the forum armed with an idea to save the county money as it looks at a future BRT system.
Within about a quarter mile of a bus stop. Wow.
All officials agreed the bottom line to solving this problem is money, and that's where officials say we need to be creative in how we approach our future.
So we need to think about the challenges we face as a community differently, because if we keep doing the same things over and over again and expect a different result, as Einstein said, that's insanity.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
The freeze and thaw of this harsh winter has left some large potholes on area roads, and county crews are busy filling them, so your ride to work and school is not a bumpy one.
We have 19 to 20 trucks a day during pothole season. Pothole season typically lasts around 2 to 3 weeks. By then, they should all be attended to.
You can report potholes you encounter on county-maintained roads by dialing 311 or online by visiting the county's website. County officials say repairs are generally made within 3 business days. The Washington Suburban Sanitary Commission will open an office within the county's Department of Permitting Services in Rockville in order to serve customers who need development and construction approvals. The idea behind the co-location is to address development matters with greater convenience. A new building in Wheaton will also house WSSC, the Montgomery County Planning Board, the Parks Department, Environmental Protection, and the Department of Permitting Services. According to county officials, this coordinated approach will streamline the development process and facilitate economic growth in the area. Body-worn cameras are a relatively new technology being adopted by several police departments across the United States. Here in Montgomery County, the police department has been researching the use of body cameras and has developed a plan for a pilot program to be launched this summer. Officials say recent high-profile cases have brought the issue of police conduct into the spotlight, and cameras may be a way to protect both officers and citizens.
Our officers wearing these cameras will get an idea of what what the officer's dealing with, what led up to a particular situation, and I've said many times, and it sounds like a joke, but it's not. I mean that sometimes police work is just not pretty. And there's difficult things that our officers have to do every day, and sometimes it just doesn't look good, and the public, certainly, doesn't like the appearance of these officers taking whatever action they're taking. But frankly, we do have a difficult job to do, sometimes in very challenging circumstances. So having those body-worn cameras is going to make sure that folks see things from the police officer's perspective.
It's an insurance policy for everybody. I mean, this gets us away from, they insulted me, they pushed me, whatever they did. And in my mind, the earlier the recording begins, the better off everybody is.
The pilot program would outfit 100 county police officers with the cameras for 90 days. Coming up on County Report this week, find out what local stakeholders are saying about the search for the next superintendent of Montgomery County Public Schools. And later, we'll introduce you to a trio of acro gymnasts who are training for a spot on the world stage. Stay with us. County Report This Week is coming right back.
You're invited to the inaugural Montgomery County Green Fest on March 28th, 2015 at Montgomery College, Tacoma Park, Silver Spring. Join us for an afternoon of national and local speakers, demonstrations, exhibitors, kids activities, and much more. The Montgomery County Green Fest is a free event with something for everyone to enjoy. So bring the whole family to Silver Spring on March 28th and help make the first Montgomery County Green Fest a day to remember.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Earlier this month, parents, students, and community members attended public forums to share their views on what they wish to see in the next superintendent of Montgomery County Public Schools. MCPS TV has the story.
The Montgomery County Board of Education organized 2 public forums March 4th as part of their national search for a new superintendent. Even with significant winter weather in the forecast, nearly 100 people attended. The goal? To hear from community members the educational priorities and leadership qualities they would like in the next MCPS superintendent.
I think for me, as a parent and as a teacher, balance is really important. I think really someone who hear the needs of parents, but also hear the needs of teachers.
I feel like the person needs to come and have an understanding and assessment of where we are and where he would like for us to be in the next 5 to 10 years.
I would love to see a superintendent who recognizes that there are some schools in the county that have significant needs, that we have some very, very high poverty schools.
How will you include?
One of the March 4th events was at Eastern Middle School in Silver Spring.
I feel like somebody who's able to see.
The other at Walter Johnson High School in Bethesda. The executive recruiting firm Hazard Young & Atia, which has been contracted to assist with the search, facilitated the events.
It's significant input for the Board of Education as they think about the desired characteristics and the attributes that they're going to seek in the next superintendent. And engaging the public is in a way to gauge that particular aspect and what people are happy with and what they see are challenges.
To have your ideas in the leadership report to the Board of Education, yet you were unable to attend a public forum, community members then are encouraged to take the online survey, which can be found by visiting the MCPS website. The Board of Education plans to have a new superintendent in place by July 1st.
To complete the survey online and provide your input, visit montgomeryschoolsmd.org and search Superintendent Search. This week, County Executive Ike Leggett visited Seven Locks Elementary School. The executive was invited as a guest speaker to impart some civic lessons about what he does in county government and also to talk about some of his life experiences. The school cafeteria was full of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders who took turns asking many questions.
Who were some of your role models when you were growing up?
Role models growing up. Thank you for your question, Tony. Role models growing up, I would say the very first one would probably have to be my mom.
I love coming to these kinds of events because it allows me to get to an environment that really shows a great deal of hard work by so many, from the principals, administrators, to those who help to clean the building, to the teachers, everyone, and to all of our wonderful students. I just enjoyed coming here to be a part of this program today, so it was a wonderful experience.
Executive Leggett is regularly invited to participate in these educational exchanges with elementary school students. He says he really enjoys visiting county schools since education is one of his top priorities, and 50% of the county's budget serves to fund MCPS. At the end of the visit to Seven Locks Elementary School, Mr. Leggett even signed several autographs. The county's Data Montgomery website is now up and running, joining others that utilize open data. And Montgomery College believes there's a future for students who can create applications with this information. MCTV's James McLean has our story.
The large amount of information that is available to the public these days can be overwhelming. And making that information accessible is the purpose of Data Montgomery and similar websites. Montgomery County Council member Hans Reamer championed the creation of the new county's Data Hub website.
We are trying to kind of move from building the foundation of publishing the data to implementing really excellent programs that really take advantage of open data and make it relevant.
This increasing trend towards open data is really helpful because it helps a business or a student make sense of the world using data that they used to actually charge for. But now at this point, anyone has access to things as varied as how many trees of a certain type are in town, where all of the bike share stalls are, and things of that nature.
Utilizing the current data is just the beginning. Mr. Henley says he hopes students will use open data in new ways and apply skills learned through MC courses to design and develop applications for this data.
So you have the ability to become a startup king, and become the next Zuckerberg, but you also have the ability to create jobs in the area that they're now calling big data.
I'll be excited to hear what they think they'll be able to do. You know, one of the things that I sort of concluded when we got started with the data project was, I don't know what's going to be possible in 10, 20, or 30 years, but I know that if we start now to build the data foundation, you know, the possibilities are endless. They're limitless.
We have classes in all of these areas. There is a program called Code for America where people build applications using this type of municipal, county, and state data to build applications of use for free to the people in that area. And we're looking into creating a group for Montgomery County. Just like there's a code for DC, there should be a code for MC too.
For County Report This Week from Montgomery College, I'm James McLean.
Officials at the universities at Shady Grove officially broke ground this week on the campus's second parking garage, a $20 million green garage to support the addition of the Biomedical Sciences and Engineering Education facility. The garage is slated to open in early 2016 and will provide 700 new parking spaces. Officials said it will be the first in the county to be submitted as a certified green garage.
Coming up next on County Report This Week, a local nonprofit and MCPS students pledge to change directions on mental health education.
Planning is now underway for the third annual Hispanic Gala, and there's some exciting news to share about this year's scholarship opportunities. And then we'll celebrate the Lunar New Year in the city of Rockville. Don't go away. County Report This Week is coming right back. Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. First Lady Michelle Obama, a Montgomery County nonprofit, and some MCPS students are pledging to change the story of mental health in America. My MC Media's Alini Barros reports.
Know the 5 signs. That was the message at the kickoff of Changing Direction on Mental Health campaign. More than 40 organizations, including Montgomery County's You Matter, were here to pledge what they can do to help their community.
The campaign to change direction. It's a coalition that includes business and government, nonprofits, the medical community, our schools, our faith communities, and so many others.
Nonprofits from across the nation and MCPS students, together with First Lady Michelle Obama, launched a national campaign to change the story about mental health in America.
They're releasing a list of symptoms called the 5 signs. This list includes things like withdrawal, agitation, hopelessness, decline in personal care, change in personality, signs that any one of us might notice in a family member or coworker struggling with mental health.
If everybody's looking out for these signs, if everybody can keep an open eye to help out, then we're well on our way to our goal.
This event really represents all of Montgomery County Public School students, not just the people that are here today.
It's been almost 3 years since Susan Rosenstock's son took his life. She founded You Matter, and now the group pledges to educate 70,000 students in Montgomery County on suicide prevention.
This is going to change the way everybody thinks about mental health. Hopefully, this will equate mental health with physical health.
First Lady Michelle Obama urges organizations, the community, and government to roll up their sleeves and get to work on mental health awareness.
Whether an illness affects your heart, your leg, or your brain, it's still an illness. There should be no distinction.
For County Report this week, I'm Eleni Barrows.
In its third year, the Montgomery County Executive Hispanic Gala announces that the organization has opened the scholarship opportunity to all students who are part of our diverse community. Lorna Virgili brings us the details.
The Montgomery County Executive Hispanic Gala was instituted by County Executive Isaiah Leggett to fundraise and assist Latino students with their college finances. This year, the scholarship opportunity opens up to all qualifying students in the county's diverse community. Roberto Rodriguez is the 2015 event chair, and he tells us that accepting a more diverse pool of applicants is geared to help many in our community.
Well, this is critical because, in essence, we have a community that is diverse, and it was always our full intent, to reach out and engage and involve our diverse community.
Last year, 60 Latino students who attend Maryland colleges and universities received a $2,000 scholarship each. There are several requirements to qualify, one of them having proof of financial need. The online application is rather simple, and students must submit 2 letters of recommendation.
It's basically a simple online application by June 30th, but the earlier the better. I would do it, frankly, my strong advice is to do it well before school is over, because that way you can get your counselor to give you a recommendation letter, which are required as part of the process.
The scholarship is funded by private individuals and businesses that are committed to support higher education.
This is all community stuff. This comes from the community. You're looking at last year able to do 60 scholarships, and we're really calling out to do more than that this year. And this means that every entrepreneur, everyone that's out there with that restaurant, hairdressing place, gas station, can be a contributor to this in a great way.
For more information on sponsoring a student or to apply for the scholarship, visit montgomeryhispanicgala.org. In Rockville, for County Report This Week, I'm Lorna Virgili.
The Asian Pacific American Task Force recently held its annual Lunar New Year celebration in the city of Rockville. Rockville 11's Shang Lim reports.
We are at the F. Scott Fitzgerald Theater to celebrate one of the biggest Asian festivals valued by the Asian community. For Rockville 11, I'm Shang Lim.
A lot of people are here today to celebrate the Lunar New Year. It's a nice, positive celebration for the city.
It's the most important event in China. It's the biggest holiday. It's equivalent to Christmas.
The goal of celebrating Chinese New Year is to bring everyone together to realize the new, if they don't know, tradition that some of our residents actually have. And it's a very festive occasion. And so everybody can come out and enjoy, bring friends, bring family, meet someone new that they may not have known from a different culture, which is really important because the city of Rockville is becoming so diverse, and particularly with the Asian community.
I've always wanted to see live performances with the costumes and stuff from the Asian culture. So that's why I came here today, and I'm glad I did. It was just beautiful, beautiful seeing all the different dancers and costumes.
There were performances from all Asian cultures, you know, Indian as well as Chinese, as well as Japanese, Korean, and it was nice to see that they all came together for the Lunar New Year celebration.
Even though we're all American, it's very important to recognize your heritage, and I think that it's a way to teach the children, and I have a grandchild too, grandchildren, the culture, and to have them understand that here in America, we can have unity in our diversities.
We wish you love, peace, prosperity, and happiness. Good luck and longevity throughout the new year. Thank you so much for joining us today to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Enjoy the rest of the program. Xing Ni Kuai La.
For County Report This Week, I'm Shang Lim.
Coming up on County Report This Week, we'll introduce you to these elite acro gymnasts who are training right here in Montgomery County. We'll meet our pet of the week. Stay with us. County Report This Week is coming right back.
The Montgomery County Community Foundation has awarded a $50,000 grant to support ACES, or the Achieving Collegiate Excellence and Success Program, a partnership between Montgomery College, MCPS, and the universities at Shady Grove. The program prepares students for the transition to college. MC and Holy Cross Hospital have expanded their partnership with a new 5-year agreement that will create workforce development and career opportunities for students, Holy Cross employees, and community members in nursing, health sciences, and STEM fields. MC has been selected to receive a grant from the Association of American Colleges and Universities to support curriculum development that will improve the success of women and minority students in computer science programs. MC was one of just 20 institutions chosen for the grant.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Sonia Burke. Acro gymnastics, it's a sport that combines tumbling and dance, and this young trio is hoping to be tops in the world at it. My MC Media's Krista Brick reports.
Arms, pull. They practice 5 days a week, 3 hours each day. It's important. They've been on the world stage before, and they want to go again. That's the goal of this powerhouse trio, who have their eye on the World Championships of Acro Gymnastics in China.
My goal is to make it to the next Worlds in 2016. That'll be my senior year, so it'll be like a good close to my whole career.
Acro Gymnastics combines elements of gymnastics, tumbling, dance, and ice skating into a program that highlights balance, strength, and timing.
I think they actually have some good chances of winning medals internationally. These girls are quite something.
He should know. He's a 2-time world champion in this sport, and he's been helping top teams in the nation, including this team of Sarah Mercer, Cameron Jones, and Sophia Handel, who practice at Extreme Acro in Rockville, prepare for competition.
What you're seeing from the new crop of athletes is better athletes, more passionate, more disciplined, and higher level.
During most routines, 12-year-old Sarah is balanced on her teammates and flipping high above them.
They could drop me, but I trust them, and they always do their best to catch me. And I mean, sometimes they drop me, but it's not on purpose.
Last year, the sport sent Cameron, a Churchill Junior, and Sarah, a 7th grader at Lakelands Park Middle School, to Worlds in Paris as a duo. Sophia, who goes to school in Anne Arundel County, earned a spot at Worlds with another partner.
We showed a presentation at my school what acro was, and everyone just came up to me and they were like, "We had no idea you did that. That's just amazing."
It takes many, many years for these athletes to get to this level, and it's a lot of hard work. These athletes are here way more than they're anywhere else. They're here more than they're at school. They're here more than they're at home. You've got to put your everything into it in order to be able to achieve your goals.
For County Report This Week, I'm Krista Brick.
Now it's time to meet our pet of the week. Kathy Stanhope joins us from the Humane Society with more.
Hi, this is Kathy Stanhope with your pet of the week, and this is Iggy. Iggy is a 12-year-old iguana that has been given up by his owners. He is looking for a home, and he is a wonderful personality. He actually has a little harness. You can take him out for walks when the weather is nice, and you wouldn't want him to get away from you because he moves very quickly, so you'd have to watch him closely. But they have a lot of personality. So come on down to the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center on Muncaster Mill Road and learn about Iggy and all his other friends here. You can call us at 240-773-5900 or visit us on the web at Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center.gov. Right, Iggy?
With that, we close this edition of County Report This Week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. We leave you with some more sights and sounds from the recent Lunar New Year celebration in Rockville. I'm Sonia Burke. Thank you for watching.